little Michael Jackson, yeah? I'm too grippy with my fluvogs. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm saying thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everyone, say hello to your neighbor. And hello, everyone online who's joining us on Facebook today. All right, let's keep being thankful here. Come on back. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life.
Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life.
My love, fill my love, fill my love, fill life.
My love, fill my love, fill my love, fill life.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm saying thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And let's keep this going. What are you guys thankful for? Shout something out. What are you thankful for? The color? I can't. Love? All right, love. Love. Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love.
Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love.
This fabulous, this fabulous, this fabulous love.
This fabulous, this fabulous, this fabulous love.
Thank you for this space, Center. Thank you for this space.
Thank you for this space, Spirit. Thank you for this space.
This vibrant, this vibrant, this vibrant space.
This vibrant, this vibrant, this vibrant space.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm saying thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Woo! Oh, that's so great. Mr. Paul Ritchie on piano, Kelby McNair on vocals and drums, and the VTC Community Choir that is growing and growing in the seats here. Awesome. Go ahead and sit down. Ooh, what a great way to start a Celebrate Sunday here at the Victoria Truth Center. Thank you for joining us in person and online. And so before we go on, and so I can kind of catch my breath, I would love to know, and I know the answer to this question already, is there anyone here for the first time on a Sunday? Yes! So that is Barry, everyone, in the back over there on this side. All right, so let's let Barry know how delighted we are that he's here with us today. We love you, we appreciate you, and we're so glad you're here. All right, let's give him a hand. Very welcoming community we are. So we come together on a Sunday, we come together on a Wednesday, and many times in between to essentially do one thing and one thing only. And that is to remember that love is all there is. In fact, our mission statement, live life lovingly, coming from Emma Smiley way back in the day. And so whether you call love love or you call it something else, some people call it spirit, some call it God, some call it creativity, universe, the quantum field, whatever it is less important than remembering that love is the only thing that is going on. And if it is the only thing, then it means that each and every one of us is love. Even if we don't feel like it, even if it doesn't look like it at the time, the essence of our being is pure essential love, expressing 100% all the time. It's up to us to remember that that's who we are, that everyone and everything is that, and then to allow that love to just unleash itself in, through, and as us. So this is what we're doing here today. We're reminding ourselves, we're reminding each other through meditation, through music, through community, and maybe some words of wisdom. So how does that sound on a lovely, sunshiny Sunday? All right. We love it. Victoria, we love Victoria. For you Randy Newman fans. There you go. All right, so let us remember where we are doing this, remembering where we are doing this, celebrating that we are on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And if we take a look at something that I found on the website of the Esquimalt Nation, it's about community, family, and people, which is what all of this is right here, right? Whether you are here with family members or whether you're here with chosen family, whether this is becoming your chosen family. If we take a look at this phrase, this statement on the website, determining the relationships between the land, water, and resources, the community, and the spiritual path. This is a wonderful invitation and correlation for us and what it is that we're doing here, because we are stewarding something that is so vital, that is so essential, and each and every one of us gets to do that in our own unique, original, unrepeatable way. And so when we focus intentionally on the love that we are, the love that everyone and everything is, then we are honoring community, we are becoming a family, and we are honoring each individual person who makes up this family and community. So what an honor, what a gift it is to be able to do so right here, right now, to live and work and breathe and play and co-create together. Haishka. So now we're going to be moving into our meditate or a reflective tune. If you want to sing, please sing. If you just want to close your eyes and maybe hands on your heart, whatever it is that allows you to tune more inward and become more aligned as the love that you truly are. And let's amplify that love together as a community. Perfect health. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am gone. I am. Two essential, vital words that declare what it is that we are expressing as at any given moment. And so knowing that whatever we put after the words I am, we are becoming, I am so grateful to know that the thing that we can consciously become at any given moment is love, is light, is more fully expressed as the wholeness, allness, and beingness that we truly are. And so what a gift and a blessing it is to be here now, together in community with all of these individualized expressions of pure essential love expressing this invitation for each and every one of us to recognize, to acknowledge, and to further amplify the love that we all are. Knowing that as we do, that love radiates and emanates beyond this center, beyond these walls, out into the world, enveloping everyone and everything in its loving embrace. So for all the love that is present, for all the love that is on its way, for all the love that is possible, I am so eternally grateful to know that right here, right now, every single thought, word, and expression, every single turn of phrase, every single insight and aha, every single deepened connection is pure love expressing. So I release, I let go, and I bask in this beautiful, effervescent, divine flow as together we affirm. And so it is. I am strength and love. I am strength and love. I am strength and love. I am God. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am God. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am God. I am God. I am God. Thank you, everyone. What a beautiful community. Wow. And thank you, gentlemen, for that beauty. Paul Ritchie on piano and Kelby McNair on the drums. All right, so our theme for the month, if you don't know already, compound interest. And the affirmation to go with is, I live in alignment with divine circulation, knowing and appreciating that every investment in wholeness yields infinite return. I'm curious to know how this is informing your life right now. What are you thinking in terms of compound interest? And what is this affirmation stirring up in you? Whether it is about money, whether is it about home, relationships, your health, your creative expression. What does it mean to live in alignment with divine circulation? So now we have an opportunity for 1 or 2 or maybe 3 brief shares. So I know that there is someone that has some kind of insight that they would like to offer to the community. So who would like to be the first?
What comes up for me is I usually know what the right decision is, but sometimes I don't want to make the right decision.
Oh.
I want something that's easier or has more chocolate on it, or
Yeah.
But I find that when I make the right decision, and you have a knowingness that you're making the right decision, the next right decision is easier, and then the next one is easier, and the next one is easier. So that's what comes up for me.
Thank you. That's a fantastic compounding. Easier and easier and easier. Great. All beginning with a conscious choice to make the right decision. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Who else has something?
I'm a financial therapist and a money coach. That's not a plug, but I'm just saying that I have been dealing with this all month about doing, like promoting and doing stuff with your business. And my wife was saying, well, why don't you just be the energy that attracts, right? And I know this in my head, but I just wasn't doing it because I was doing. And I was just sharing that in the meditation today. In the last couple of weeks, I've been doing this meditation of like just really allowing my energy to be fluid and flowing. And then I was coming into my heart and just shining my heart out into the world and my intention. And when we pulled your hands up, it was like, and everyone that's looking for me can come to me. So it was like in the sense of wholeness is what creates the infinite returns. So it was just a nice reminder of it's not just an idea, it's an embodiment. And I just that happened today, and there was lots of light.
Yay,
Yeah.
that's so great. All right, time for one more brief share. Anyone have anything they would like to offer? Winnie, go for it.
I just want to build on that and say that I feel that I've been really loving myself, and I'm attracting more love into my life. And it actually, today, being here, being able to sit with Fiona and meeting Barry again and sitting together, I just feel surrounded by love, and it feels really, really lovely. So I think that I'm building on what you were saying about being love, and just being, happy. And it's just been sort of an ongoing, wonderful journey. And I'm really grateful for this home. So thank you,
Yay.
Lesia, for creating it.
Thank
and
you,
being
Winnie.
here.
Let's give all three people beautiful, beautiful shares and wonderful hands. Sandy, Brenda, and Winnie, thank you for sharing. Great. So I invite us all to lean into this theme for the next, the remainder of the month. Compound interest, whether it is money, whether it is a different aspect of your life. I really, really appreciate, what Sandy said about like making a conscious choice and then it becoming easier and easier and easier. And then whatever your perspective is or whatever it is that you're focusing on, to just apply that kind of awareness and consciousness, because when you do, then you are then expressing and attracting more of the wholeness that is just, our inherent nature and beingness. So thank you for all of that. All right, we are moving into our feature tune with Paul Ritchie and Kelby McNair. So Kelby, what is it that you chose for today and why?
Well, getting to hear some of your words just now led me to think of this idea of how we create ourselves is really an act of creative imagination. So hearing what Lesia was saying about whether we call it love or whether we call it creativity or God, that idea of imagination is the process of creating. So we picked an old song called Imagination. Imagination is funny. It makes a cloudy day sunny. Makes a bee think of honey, just as I think of you. Imagination is crazy. Your whole perspective gets hazy. Finds me asking a daisy what to do, what to do. Have you ever felt a gentle touch, and then a kiss, and then found it's only your imagination again? Oh well, imagination is silly. You go around willy-nilly For example, I go around wanting you, and yet I can't imagine that you want me to. Let's hear from Paul Ritchie on the piano. Paul Ritchie. Have you ever felt a gentle touch, and then a kiss, and then found it's only your imagination again? Oh well, imagination is silly. You go around willy-nilly. For example, I go around wanting you, and yet I can't imagine that you want me to. Whoa, 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 I can't imagine that you want me to.
Yay, thank you, Mr. Paul Ritchie on piano. Thank you for being here today. And Kelby McNair on vocals and drums. Amazing. Imagination. Well, that's a nice call to action to make sure that we're using our imagination constructively, right? In life-affirming ways, that we are conscious of how we're using our imagination, directing the creativity that we truly are. Okay, so I want to start off with the quote that we had in meditation today, which not everybody was at, so I'm going to repeat it. With the tenderness we might bring to stroking the cheek of a sleeping child, we can softly place a hand on our own cheek or heart. We can comfort ourselves with words of kindness and understanding. And that comes from Tara Brach from her book, Radical Acceptance, Embracing Life with the Heart of a Buddha, I think is the subtitle. And so the reason that I'm bringing this up is because yesterday was class 6 of our forgiveness class, and yesterday morning and Thursday evening, I facilitated 2 90 breathwork sessions, and both of them were the same journey, grief and loss. And in order to be prepared to facilitate those journeys, I had to breathe the journey myself, and it was one that I hadn't breathed before, but it was just being called into being by the 2 groups that were breathing this. And so I breathed it on Thursday morning, and I breathed it with the intention to just be aware of how the journey unfolded, thinking, I don't really have anything that I'm grieving at the moment, nothing, specific, no person, no experience, whatever. Wow, I was not prepared for what happened during this journey. And so I've been facilitating 90 breath work for about 1.5 years now, and I do it here once a month, I do it at a clinic once a month, and every now and then I do it online and different things. And each journey is completely different. There are different themes, and even if you breathe the same journey at a different time, you're a different you, having a different experience, so you're going to have a different journey, right? So I have some of my favorites that I will breathe from time to time, and this was a new one for me. And so as I'm listening and paying attention and sort of making mental notes that I was then going to make, notes of for my event flow, whenever, I don't remember where in the journey it happened, but all of a sudden, these floodgates I didn't even know were there, opened wide, and out came gushing and erupting these waves of sorrow and grief for a relationship that I didn't even know was that deep. The relationship, yes, but the sorrow and the grief. Like it completely gobsmacked me. I just wasn't aware. And then it just kept going and going. I have not sobbed like that. I have not cried like that. I have not wept like that. I have not screamed like that. Had that kind of epic release, I can't even remember when. And so I thought, wow, what is going to happen at these two journeys, on Thursday and on Saturday? And at both of those journeys, there were people who came in with an intention around a specific person or a relationship, and then very quickly it turned into something different, as whatever it was that wanted to come forward had the opportunity to be unleashed. And so many people experienced this profound release from this loss that they weren't even necessarily aware of. And so this was kind of hanging around in the atmosphere for me as I was preparing for this class. And I was preparing for this class while I was preparing for today, while I was preparing for the 9D journey. And so the thing that kept coming up for me was acceptance and compassion. Because I just had all these balls that I was juggling, all these plates, whatever metaphor you want to use. And it was a lot. And I was feeling sleep deprived, and I was feeling stressed and stretched really thin. I brought it all on myself. Nobody was making me do any of it, but it was just a jam-packed weekend, and it all just kind of perfect stormed itself together. And so kindness and understanding, acceptance and compassion for this is where I am. And I knew that I was going to be in the class yesterday with not having done my homework as the facilitator, right? And what I decided to do at the very beginning of the class, knowing that there would be people that would not necessarily do or have the opportunity to do the homework, was to incorporate some of the homework in the class itself so that people still had the experience of doing the work. But I would change it around a little bit so it wasn't the exact same thing. And so yesterday, instead of repeating the Make a Beautiful Creation practice that was at the end of the chapter that we had been working on, what I decided to do was we're going to arrive exactly as we are and where we are on this journey of forgiveness, and we're going to create something around compassion and acceptance. And at first I could feel that there was a little bit from certain people of like, I don't know if I want to do this, but there were tons of art supplies, so many different mediums. You could pick paper, you could pick canvas, you could pick paints, crayons, fabric, whatever, glue kind of thing. And everybody ended up taking to it. And then it was even like, and if you don't want to do that, write. If you don't want to write, just sit there and be with where you are, right? Just be present with what is. And so it was so incredible to just see what came up as people sat mostly in silence for the 40 or so minutes that we did this for, which is only part of the class, and then all of the creations that came out of it and all the awareness and insight that came out of just being with what is, instead of, I should be doing this, I would have done this, I could have done this, but, right? And so for me, this really sort of came to, I want to talk about prosperity and I want to talk about money today, but I don't know if I can because this whole forgiveness and compassion and kindness and acceptance thing is, right sort of at the forefront for me. And yet, when I was sitting at my computer this morning and I was looking at the creation that I made yesterday, now I know some of you at the back maybe aren't going to be able to see this very well, but this is about the person that I'm working on forgiving. And the person that I know that I need to be forgiven by. And I keep gravitating, from one to the other. And this is why partly this is such a confusing space for me to be in, because it's not a clear cut and dried, I got to forgive that person or I need to be forgiven. It's both and. And so what really surprised me was how attracted I was to dark, to black. Like there's so much black in this. And I was attracted to different textures, and I knew there had to be some hearts in here because it was about relationship and love. And I knew there had to be like something sort of, different layers of like, there's always this beauty and this swirliness underneath. There's magic and sparkliness, that is available to make it come forward. And yet, there's like the pain of a broken heart. But the thing that I didn't say this in class yesterday that struck me as I was working on trying to tear this heart, it was so hard to tear this paper. Like it didn't want to tear. What does that say right there? Like love is indestructible, right? Anytime we think we have a problem, anytime we think we have a challenge, anything that is coming around, like in our external world that we think, oh my God, that's so big, it's going to take me down kind of thing, who and what we truly essentially are is indestructible. You cannot diminish it. You cannot break it. You cannot harm it. You cannot mar it. You cannot tear it because it is wholeness. And no matter what shape it's in, it's always, always whole. And same goes for us, right? No matter what shape we're in, no matter how we're arriving, we're always whole. We are always wholeness. Period. End of sentence. And so I was thinking about this in terms of money. And this morning there was an email that came out for this class that I'm in for the next year with someone called Kate Northrup. And there was a quote in her email that says, "Most financial education completely ignores the emotional component of money. Yet, emotions drive nearly every financial decision we make, from daily purchases to major investments, and then there's everything in between," right? And it took me back to when I was a kid and the idea of an allowance. And for the longest time, my friends were getting allowance, but my sister and I didn't get one. But eventually, we like ground our parents down, and they're like, "Okay, here's an allowance." But it was sort of way later in life, like in our childhood, almost to the point of like tweens. And so they just gave us this money, but they didn't tell us how to manage it or what to do with it. And so what ended up happening was, I want this, I'm going to buy it. I want this, I'm going to buy it. And not really sort of stewarding the money in any kind of way. It was readily available. When it ran out, it ran out. We knew that there would be more. But we never really put a lot of thought and intention to it. And so this idea that emotions are so tied up in it made me think of emotional currency. And it kind of made me think of like, what's my emotional currency? What's our emotional currency as a community? What's your emotional currency, individually? And so that's the title of my talk today. What's your emotional currency? That frog is totally in love with its money. It is so relaxed and so super chill. It is just like having the most wonderful time in relationship with its money. And so it's a totally different perspective, right? Is that a perspective I was taught? No. There are a whole bunch of beliefs that I have around money, and it's always been the beliefs that I've been trying to work on. But the further along I get into my ministry, which really is about embodiment, like feel spirit, be spirit in the body, in your cells, in every single fiber of your being, be the thing instead of like do to like sort of become the thing. We are the thing already. We just need to be it more. And so it was about money. Like I have these emotions around money. And even though my prosperity consciousness is so much stronger and rock solid now than it was before my spiritual consciousness studies, there's still work to be done, which is why I'm in this program. And the thing about this program is it's all about money and the nervous system. And because I worked in a chiropractic office for 3.5 years, anything about the nervous system is really fascinating to me. And so this relationship with money and the nervous system and bringing it all into alignment is so super cool. So because emotions are involved in this also took me back to David Hawkins and his map of consciousness. And when I was thinking of allowance, and how there's this allowance, you get this money, and the first thing you do is, for most kids, they will go and buy something they want, whether it's a toy or candy or something like that, rather than I'm going to tithe 10%, I'm going to put this in long-term savings, I'm going to put this in short-term savings, and then I'll have some mad money that I get to spend on whatever it is I want. That's usually not the case. So I went to desire on the map of consciousness, which is at a frequency of 150. And so according to David Hawkins, there is lots of energy, lots of collective consciousness around desire. It is motivating the major portion of human activity, including the economy. All right? Just yesterday, Glenn told me that there's no budget in Canada. Like, we just had an election, a new prime minister, and who's a banker, and there's no budget, which I find fascinating. Anyway, so back to this. So including the economy, it's about insatiability. It is very addictive, and it's about money, prestige, and power. And it's about valuing external things rather than focusing here, right? So the God view of desire is denying. You can't have that. There's not enough of that. That's not for you. You're not worthy. Okay? And the life view is disappointment, because there's not enough to go around. I can't figure out how to get some because it's all over there. Then there's willingness, which is at 310. And this is a gateway to higher levels of excellence and success. And here, because as you go along this map of consciousness, growth is exponential. So it's not like, 2 times this is this. It's more like this, right? Here, growth is rapid. There's a commitment to participate and open-mindedness and genuine friendliness and helpful nature. Okay, so we're not living on an island or in a bubble anymore. We know that we're interconnected with everyone and everything. And this is when you start taking personal responsibility for yourself and you start turning within and you start dealing with what's going on within. There are no major learning blocks, and this is where people are continually self-correcting. Okay, so there might still be challenges, but you're more aware, you have the tools, you're noticing along the way, and you're doing something about it. You're a lot more conscious about your life. So the God view here is inspiring, and the life view here is hopeful. Okay, there's more. There's always more, and I am always more than. That is my basic life belief, right? There is always more to learn, to love, to expand into, to be expanded by. There's always more time and energy and resources. There is always more, and I am always more than what I think, what I feel, what I believe, what I've experienced, the trauma, the drama, the external stuff. I am always more than that because I am that wholeness. I am that beautiful paper that can't be torn, right? And then we move up to acceptance, which was one of the themes for yesterday's class and where I've been in the last few days, which is at 350, and this is where we're no longer a victim because we are taking personal responsibility for how we create our life. This is part of major transformation at this stage. And so we are more responsible for ourselves and each other. There's greater capacity to live harmoniously with the forces, or let's call them laws, the spiritual laws of life, to be in alignment with them. And you're meeting life on life's terms, and you are emotionally more calm, more flexible, and inclusive. Now, the God view here is merciful, and then the life view is harmonious. Okay? Now, as you move up this map of consciousness, as you move exponentially throughout these different levels, you get to love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. And this is where the compounding really, really becomes obvious because that's when things just seem to get easier and easier and easier because there's a lightness. There's stuff you're not holding on to anymore. There's stuff you're not dragging around anymore. You're being instead of doing more and more and more. Excuse me. So this takes me back to when I first came into VTC as a guest speaker several years ago. And there was no way to give. There was no way to donate. There was no way to tithe. And I was so curious about this because I had never been anywhere where we weren't invited or downright asked to, give some money. And it was, I didn't know about Emma Smiley back then, but it makes me curious now because Emma Smiley would say tithing is paying for our spiritual groceries. Okay, so wherever you are inspired, wherever you are nourished, wherever you are fed, you offer something, right? So Emma Smiley said that. Emma Smiley, founder of VTC. She also said, life returns to us blessed and multiplied, that which we give to life. So the more we give, the more there is to receive. And yet there was no opportunity to give. And the reason was because they didn't want our money. They just wanted our presence. That was presence enough. And for me, even though that was a lovely sentiment, I'm like, but there's a law of circulation that is in and at work all the time. And even if you don't want it, you're cutting off my opportunity to give, which cuts off the law of circulation. It cuts off my opportunity to be invested. It cuts off my opportunity to share, to be generous. And so it was a real big curiosity for me. So when I officially started, I'm like, can we bring back tithing? And sure we did. So this is the thing that I want to talk about, is that there is emotion in every single thing that we do with money. And so the way, Maria Naima says, the way you do money is the way you do life. And so if you have a loving, beautiful relationship with money, like I like to see that frog does, to me that is a beautiful sight, then this is how you show up in life, and you attract more resources, people, opportunity, experience, people into your program that are in alignment with who and what you are. This is how we build community together. But if you don't value yourself, if you feel like there's never enough time, I only have this much for this, which means that I got to make a decision, and sometimes we do, then that's when the lack starts to show up. That's when we're not sure if we can afford this or we can afford that. And that is external. That is going back down to the level of desire. Okay? But we are here because we are all at least at the level of willingness. We are here because we are all moving up to, if not creeping beyond the level of acceptance, where we're taking personal responsibility for our life experience. And so for me, I wanted to just talk about how essential it is to understand tithing versus donating versus giving. And if you look at Eric Butterworth's book, Spiritual Economics, he talks about giving. It's not about this amount of money, this percentage of what you make. It is about generosity. Because generosity, this is an inherent quality of who and what we are. And we don't want to be doing this, because when we do this, we're going to be all alone and isolated, right? And we are social, interconnected, divinely intertwined creatures who want to be in community. And so we got to open up. And when we open up, we get to give, and we give, and then we're open. There is that much more that we can receive to amplify the love and wholeness that we are, which means that we can just give that much more of ourselves again and again and again. Compounding the law of circulation that is always in effect. So tithing is typically 10%. Of whatever you make, you give 10% to where it is that you are spiritually fed. Whether it's your spiritual center, whether it is people who inspire you, whether it's different places, but it is an investment. It is part of your spiritual evolution and transformation. Then there's donating. And donating is good too, but donating is more about giving people and organizations money because they need it to do the work that they do. So it's less about inspiration. It can be, but it's not as much about inspiration as it is about need. And then there's just the giving, right? The giving, which is generosity of who and what we are, and just offering ourselves the love, the value, everything that we are, the wholeness, and offering it so that we can create a better world for ourselves, each other, and the entire world. And so according to Raymond Charles Barker, money is God in action, and it takes money to put God into action. And so what I want us to recognize is that when we give, let us give not out of a sense of obligation, but because we want to share. Because we want to express the love we are more fully, knowing that as we do, that what we express as is going out into the world to benefit and uplift the world. That's why we're doing this, right? The practicality is that we do need money to, keep the lights on and pay expenses and that kind of thing. But we also want to just feel good. We want to make others feel good. And we want to be part of this incredible, amazing, dynamic wave of wholeness and allness and love that is always, always possible to amplify and stir up. So that's what we get to do when we give, right? So it's not about obligation, it is about generosity, and it's a commitment, which is one of our 4 main values, right, here at VTC. It is a practice. And so when we ask, you to give, when we declare our generosity affirmation in a few minutes, I'm not asking you necessarily to give here, okay? We welcome any donations or love offerings or tithes, 100%. But the whole thing is to give where you are inspired. And one of my favorite things to do is to tithe to a person who inspires me. Because most of the time, people don't get tithed to. And what an incredible surprise and what a gift it is for me to get a beautiful letter, a text, an email, see the person's face as they burst into tears because they're so filled with joy because of this incredible, amazing surprise. And it's just me saying, thank you, I love you. That's it. So we get to choose where we give, and giving is about generosity, okay? It's not about obligation. Now, back to Kate Northrup. Very, very short line. Your spending is a prayer. Everything we do is a prayer. Everything is an affirmative prayer, whether we are aware of it or not. Every thought, every word, every action step, every choice we make, everything we do with our money, everything that we give is some form of prayer. It's some form of affirmation. So what is it that you are affirming? Are you affirming that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you are loved, that you are whole, that you know that the thing that you are is this incredible, amazing, ever-flowing, overflowing bunch of goodness and allness that never, ever runs out and is always, always expressing? Or are you affirming that there's only so much of me to go around? You know, I can only do it at certain times. You know, and that there just isn't enough. You get to decide at any moment. So I just want to finish with this. Your emotional currency is the foundation for your relationship with money and giving. The more we commit to living with a certainty that love is our true nature, values compass, the more the love we are appreciates in every aspect of our lives, our home, relationships, health, creative expression, and financial wealth. So let us be generous of spirit. Let us give not out of obligation or because someone needs money, but because it feels good to do so. Because we're spiritually nourished and inspired to express and experience more of the love we truly are. Thank you, and so it is. And so I invite us all to close our eyes or lower our gaze. And just, let's feel the gratitude and appreciation as it grows. Let's know that right here, right now, all of the generosity that is being shared, all of the love that is present, all of the wholeness that is being embraced more fully, the conscious choices to live in alignment with the divine circulation of life, that all of that is informing this incredible evolution of this dynamic community. Each individual, the entire collective, just building and building and building, compounding upon the incredible, amazing qualities of love and beauty and harmony and grace, of compassion, understanding, kindness, all of it, and that it is radiating out into the world, just enveloping everyone and everything in its beautiful, warm, glimmery, shimmery embrace. So for all of the love and generosity that is present, for all that is on its way, for all that is possible every moment of every day, I simply say thank you for it all, anchoring ourselves in the knowing that love is our true nature, as together we say, and so it is. All right, okay, so I'm going to invite everyone to stand up. We're going to sing our closing tune.
Celebrate my gift right now, I celebrate my gift. Celebrate my gift right now, I celebrate my gift. Celebrate my gift right now, I celebrate my gift.
Celebrate my gift right now, I celebrate my gift.
It returns to me, multiplied abundantly. All right, everyone, bless your neighbor for the week. All right, everyone, come on back. We're going to do some more celebrating.
Here we go.
Celebrate my love right now, I celebrate my love.
Celebrate my love right now, I celebrate my love.
Celebrate my love right now, I celebrate my love.
Celebrate my love right now, I celebrate my love.
Woo!
And it returns to me,
multiplied
abundantly.
Right on. Thank you. Woo! All right. Thank you, Paul Ritchie, for being here on piano today. Thank you, Kelby McNair, vocals and drums, and VTC Community Choir. Thank you for being here in person, online. We love you. We appreciate you. And we're so glad you're here. We will see you next week or in 15 minutes for the Healing Circle. Thank you.